Well, hello, 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 hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Moms in the Huddle. We're in the huddle. No parent stands alone. I'm your host, Erika Morgan,
And
and we
I
have our
am
host,
Jillian
Jillian.
Black. Yeah. You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you really good, Jillian. Go right ahead.
Yep. I'm Jillian Blackwell, mom of a D1 basketball player. And together, we've lived this life together from youth league to college sidelines. I'm super excited about Moms in the Huddle.
Yes. And see, this is the podcast for sports families created by sports mom. What we need to know that this show is a show where parents, coaches, agents, and even athletes are learning how to navigate the world through competitive sports. We're going to talk about NIL rankings. We're going to talk about transfer portal, which is going to be tonight's topic. We're going to talk about mental health. This is going to be a show that is authentically for moms, authentically for anyone that want to come to a platform where you're able to be
Yeah.
your true, real, authentic self.
I love that. I love that. And our topic today is what? The transfer portal. What are we talking about today, Erica?
The transfer portal. And a lot of people, Jillian, I will say, don't even know what the transfer portal is. You know, majority of the times we'll hear transfer portal, transfer portal. I know in football, we are always hearing, what is the transfer portal? Well, let me explain to everyone out there that may not be understanding what it is. The NCAA transfer portal is pretty much a digital database that allows college athletes to officially declare their intent to transfer from one school to another. Once the player enters that transfer portal, then college coaches at that time are able to then pretty much go and get them and recruit them. It's almost like how they recruit them from high school, but they can legally do it at that time. Prior to that, they're unable to legally recruit those students until the students let them know that that's our intent. But a lot of times, Jillian,
Yeah.
people look at the transfer portal as a taboo type place or a taboo subject. What are some of your reasons that you've heard that they looked at the transfer portal either in a negative way or a positive way?
Well, again, I think it has its pros and cons. One of the uh, controversy has been this whole thing called dash for cash. Like students are saying, hey, I want to go to the highest bidder. Even there might have students that may have had a successful year at their existing university and they decide, hey, I want to go in, I'm going to check it out and see who's in the portal because I want to go to the highest bidder. And sometimes that works out for the students, sometimes it doesn't. So the one negative that some of the coaches are saying is that this whole cash for I can't even build a team. I think I have a great team. I think I have great players, and they show up a week later after a tournament is over, and some of the students are deciding, hey, I want to go, again, referred to as dash for cash. So that's one of the controversies that I'm hearing about.
And I will say some of the coaches look at the transfer portal in a good way. The transfer portal, actually, for most teams and some coaches, what it is, they're able to build their roster. So the transfer portal for a
Yes.
coach looking through their lens, because you got to look at it from two perspectives. You have the coaches going into the transfer portal so that they can build a team that they may have lost
Yes.
players from the draft or for anything that they're
For
doing. But then you got
graduation.
to look at it on the other hand with the student athlete. They may say, hey, I'm leaving because whatever my reasons are, maybe I'm not playing, I'm not getting any playing time,
Right.
or maybe I don't feel like this is the right place for me academically. So it's both hands that when you think about the transfer portal, it's something where it could be utilized as a good tool and a bad tool, right? Because it is taboo kind of for some
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I was watching another podcast and they talked about that there were at least 40 or near 50% of students who went into the transfer portal. And I don't know if they were talking, I think they were talking about basketball, where 40 or 50% of them hadn't got to school to even contact them. They hadn't signed, they hadn't done anything. And so when you enter to a portal, I think the numbers, Eric, I think you may have had the number. The numbers were like over 1,000 students in
Mhm.
basketball were in the portal. And so think about that. Think about that as a college student or even as a coach where you have to stream through, go through and decide, look at their rankings, you know, contact their current coach to find out, hey, tell me a little bit about this kid. And so it takes, I think it's just really a different landscape previously were how coaches would recruit students, how they would, this transfer portal, again, can be positive and negative. I think, again, the numbers that we're seeing, I don't think all of the students that are going or the athletes are going in for Dash for Cash. I think there's multiple reasons. Again, the student needs to really determine, why am I going in? What's the purpose? Do I have a strategy? Do I have a relationship with any existing coaches, or do I want to go back to my school? Think about that. I enter the portal, no one contacts me. Do I have opportunity to go back? And so I think you really have to have a strategy. You have to talk to your parents, talk it out before you hop into the portal.
And that's true. But a lot of people that I believe that are really hurt by the portal, it could be our high school students. You got to think about it. I'm in high school. I'm playing football or basketball or whatever other sport you're playing, soccer, in order to get some type of scholarship offer where I'm able to have my education paid for. But then if college coaches are going only into the portal to build their team, because you got to think about it, Jillian, a lot of the kids that are in a portal already have 1 year of college under their belt or 2 years of college under their belt. Oh, yeah. So who would you want? Or three.
Right?
That's true.
Yeah.
So as a college coach, who would you want? Would you want the kid that you got to try to build from the age of 18 and they don't have any college experience versus the kid that is in the portal? So it could be something in which this portal can be used as a great tool, or it can be used in detriment. But that's what we're talking about today. We're in the huddle with the moms. We're talking about being in the transfer portal here today. I want to say our guests that are coming today, I count it an honor and privilege to have known the mother, one of the mothers that's at the University of Michigan. My son plays football with them. I'Shawn Stewart, and he's currently a football player at the University of Michigan, but she's also a teen mom, Sequitia Stewart. I can say me and her have sat and talked numerous times just about different things. But when I talk with this mom about the different things that she's experienced, not just with one, but two athletes, she has an older son named I'Shawn. I'Shawn has an amazing journey. And I told Sequitia, we need you on our show. We need you to tell your story, because a lot of people don't know there are great things that can happen when you enter the portal. But here's the thing. You need to hear from someone that actually did, and then hear what their journey was. So I want people to understand today's show is very key and important, because as we think about the transfer portal is more than just kids entering. There's an afterlife. What happens after the portal? Isn't that right, Jillian?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you think about once a child, I keep saying child, once a student athlete enters the portal, they get selected or they get recruited to go to another team. They got to know the different university they're going to. The rules may be different at one university. Academic rules may be a little bit different. Are they being able to transfer all their credits? Do they have the chemistry now with the new players that they're playing with? Do they have chemistry, not just with the head coach, with all the coaches? So it's a lot that they have to consider when they decide to go into the portal and then are recruited to a new team.
Yeah, and that's so true. Well, at this time, we want our guests. We don't want to prolong this. We want you guys to hear from our guests. We're going to add to the stage Miss Sequitia Stewart and Mr. I'Shawn Stewart. They're here to tell their stories. If you guys are able to unmute yourself, there you go. And they're able to tell their stories as it relates to what their experience was in the transfer portal. Because what we got to understand is this ain't our experience. We can talk about it, but neither one of our children have been a part of it, but someone's child has. So Ms. Stewart, I'm gonna give you a moment to introduce yourself, and I'Shawn, we're gonna come over to you, but we thank you so much. And before y'all introduce yourself, can I get, we in the huddle?
We in the huddle.
All right, thank you. All right, go ahead, Ms. Stewart, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Sequitia Stewart, and I am the proud mother of I'Shawn Stewart, I'Shawn Stewart, and I'Leah Stewart. I'Shawn has brought us into the vortex of football, and I call it the vortex of all sports. He's the eldest of 3 children. And he has led the way. He has been the trendsetter, like in the leader, and just such a great human. So he's the reason why we are here today and why we are steady building on beautiful relationships that turn into family.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. And I'Shawn, go right ahead.
And
Give us some introductions for yourself.
I'm I'Shawn Stewart, the son of Sequitia Stewart. I am her oldest child. I have a lot of experience with the transfer portal, and just here to express how I didn't have my hardships and the good stuff that then came out of it as well.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, we're going to go ahead and get into some questions with you guys. Jillian, you got those first set of questions that you want to speak with Miss Stewart and I'Shawn about?
You go ahead and kick us off. Go ahead and kick us off. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. So, I'Shawn, before we get into your part of transferring into the transfer portal, give us a brief overview of when you were in high school before you actually went and picked your first school. Tell us about that journey. Start there.
Okay, starting off, I was a freshman year on varsity. I started my freshman year at Oswego East. Had a real good year, led the team in receiving yards as a freshman. I ended up transferring to Bolingbrook my sophomore year. Unfortunately, I ended up going to a camp at Iowa University. I broke my ankle my sophomore year, heading into my sophomore year. So set out majority of that year. Hard year, trying to just relocate and get everything situated, trying to figure out what my steps were, since this was the first time for not only me, but my family as well throughout this experience. End up coming back towards the end of my sophomore year, playing a little bit. And that summer going into my junior year was just when everything kicked off. And I went to Iowa again after breaking my ankle the previous year. Got my first offer from Iowa, Illinois, and Nevada all in the same day. So it was a good experience after what had just happened the previous year. But going into my junior year, it was just a fun year, just able to play, knowing that you already have scholarships kind of waiting, and like you know that you are capable of what you were set out to do. So my junior year, real good season. Senior year, great season. But this is when the early transfer portal had just be not transfer portal, early
Signing day.
Early signing day.
Okay.
So this was the beginning for my class. So I wasn't planning on signing early. So I waited a little bit just to see what else other schools I end up receiving, and in my circumstance, I ended up waiting too long, and the offers that I did have ended up pulling. A lot of people don't know, like, you have all these offers, and some of them aren't committable during this process. So during that time, I had to figure it out. I had already graduated high school early, so I just started training all I could, and working out, doing everything I had to for my process to keep going. So I ended up getting an offer from Oregon State after Syracuse, Illinois, Iowa. All the offers I previously had just was at a standstill due to the early.
So wait a minute. Let me ask you this, I'Shawn. You're telling me you had multiple offers, but only certain offers were committable? Explain that to us. What is a committable offer?
So you really, some kids don't know, like, they go to these camps, they get offered, some of them got 40 offers, but they're not committable. So what I mean by that is they extend you an offer, phrasing like you could just come to their school, but that's really not what it is. It's kind of to put a tag on your name, if that's a good example. Like they have their school listed on your name just in case they need to come back if they don't get the recruit that they want, or if you got the recruit later on that they think that you are. So it's a game they're able to play with.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, you hear that, Jillian? So what it is, it doesn't mean because someone offer you that it's a scholarship offer to come play. It just says, oh, we'll give out this many offers, and that's it.
It's like a dating game. You know, I'm calling Sequitia, or I'm calling, but I'm really, really, you know, I want to make sure I got my options open.
Still in the loop. She's still in the loop. That's what it is.
She's still in the loop. That's right. Love that.
So it don't totally dismiss you, but at least it'll let you know that, hey, you know, we are looking at you, but we don't know. But Miss Stewart, your son got those offers, and then he said that he wasn't able to kind of commit to certain things. So how did that make you feel as a mom?
So that was kind of a new landscape for us, 2017, 2018, with the new signing day. So we weren't aware. He came from a very good head coach, John Ivelo, at Bolingbrook High School. So it was kind of new. So no one was really pressuring him to go ahead and commit to those schools. But before we knew it, everything had went away. He had over 15 or 20 offers, but everything had went away. Like, because you have to think of it from a business aspect. We offered you, because he had a lot of committable offers, but you came too late. So there's a depth chart. So we're going to give it to you from the business aspect, and then also the athlete and the parents. They have to get these positions filled. But being a family, you're not aware of that. I'm the best fit for you. And unfortunately for I'Shawn and for us, it was bad timing, because now you could commit in December. I think the signing day went to December. You had 2 signing periods. Right. So he missed out on that. Then it was introduced to us about prep school. We had never heard of that in the football arena. I have heard it before in the basketball arena, where kids will go prep. And that's pretty much almost still extending your eligibility. So we actually went to Avon Farms because like everything was gone. And you got to think, this is a troubling time. This is an 18-year-old. He's done all the work to graduate from high school early. And now you have no home. So we kind of big on not paying attention to the hype or what everybody asking. But then you have to realize you got everybody asking your child, oh, where you going? Where you going?
Yes.
Where you going? Oh, so where he's going, Sequitia? Where he going, Ira? And you have no idea, because being honest, there's no home. So what I kind of did do, he just dug into it. He just went working out. He was working out twice a day. Like, let me stay ready so I don't have to get ready. Me being honest, for a parent, I'm worried. We didn't have the money at that time to pay for our son to go to college.
Wow.
So those scholarships, like ourselves and a lot of other parents, they were counting on those scholarships.
Absolutely.
So it's like, what do we do now? So we went out to that, but he never lost hope. So let me add that in there. It was a time where I would be in my bed crying, just worried, because I'm like, I want him to have what he's worked for. And this was the first time in my parenting journey I felt like I could not fix it. And I didn't have the solution to fix it. I couldn't just take him to a camp, because now he's done all the work to get him. But on the business side, those scholarships leave because people committed early. So he went to Avon Old Farms. They wanted him out in Connecticut. That was a prep school. Then at the time, his and this is all, now this goes to relationships. I'Shawn had went out. He did a lot of camps. Coaches switch up normally about December. So a lot of schools he had went to the camp with had moved around. Just so happened, one of the, I think Wisconsin, a coach from Wisconsin ended up going to Oregon State. So Oregon State reached out asking if I'Shawn would, if they could fly I'Shawn out there. And I'm just thinking to myself, at this time, and I'm just being honest, I'm hurt. My feelings is hurt. Like, what is happening, guys? Like, why has all my son's stuff went away? I'm like, no, I don't want to go. And I remember we were literally in the movies in February watching, what is it, Wakanda? What is that movie?
Wakanda Forever.
Black Panther, yes.
And I shine like the coach on the phone. He want me to come out there. And I'm like, I done been in enough coach's office. I don't want to hear it. They done took all your stuff away. So I end up giving Coach Henson a call the next day. And he was like, I've watched I'Shawn film, and I really would like him to come out here to see if he like it and to see if he'll be a good fit for us. So I'm like, okay, let's just go ahead and do it. Nothing else to lose, right? So right now he's waiting for his decision back from Avon. We go out there, we meet with Coach Smith. great head coach, who's now the current coach at Michigan State. And I'Shawn loved it. And we loved it. And then the question came from family, are you going to send him all the way out there? That's pretty far. But my thing has always been wherever they want to go, they can go. We'll make it our way to get to him.
Yeah.
So he ends up and he commits to Oregon State. So it was great. Like,
so is that the first school, Sequitia, that I'Shawn ends up going to? Oregon State, right?
Yes.
I didn't want to go there because I thought it was talking about high school. So I didn't
say that one more time.
I want to keep it at high school. I didn't know it was getting to Oregon State.
No, your mom was building there. And see, that's the thing, I'Shawn. That's why we call moms in a huddle. It always starts with us because we know more of your story than you can.
So we can tell the story.
He's like, I wasn't even trying to get there yet. She didn't jump there.
But I do want to ask a quick question. Just pause for 1 second. One thing that you said, and what I keep hearing, is that you want to look at the business side and the student side. And what I hear agents say, recruiters say, even some coaches are saying, when you think about college sports, it is a business. So I want to ask you, as a mom, how do you're dealing with your son, the emotions, the transfer, all of that. When did you start like thinking about this? This is a business. So how do I put my business hat on? Can you speak to that a little bit?
Our house, I may be harsh. We have two. We have the good cop and the bad cop.
Yep.
Moms are mostly the bad cop. I'm the bad cop. So, but I choose to prepare them for the world. If you can hear the honest to God truth at home, nothing anybody can tell you out in the world for me can ever break you. Yeah. So with that, just always telling us telling him what it is. This is what it is. And this is what you have to do. Because our children are not always perfect and they have to meet and put on their business hat as well, because this is a business. But in 2018, it hadn't even evolved to the business that it is now. The biggest thing was the early signing period. Right. So pretty much just telling I'Shawn, like, this is what it is. That was a tough conversation. Like, we either gonna have to go this way or this way. But because you still are so blessed, God has given you options.
Yeah.
You went from having 20 to having the avenue of going prep. We didn't know about that. To me, that's another blessing of information that God has put into our circle. So that's another option for you. Then, wow, Oregon State came. And when we sat down at Oregon State, Coach Confense, like, this kid just kept coming up in a conversation from all these different places. From this coach, this coach. Great. So I'Shawn gets there, and I'Shawn, you can take it from there.
Yeah. Take it from there, I'Shawn. You're at Oregon State now, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna answer Jody's question real quick.
Here it is right here. Jody writes, what exactly did you stand on, I'Shawn? In the midst of all these decisions, God, belief, and self, what exactly did you stand on?
Great question, Jody.
Yeah, that was a great question.
Jody.
I think it was three things, honestly. I did believe in myself because I had already not only did the work, but I had all the offers originally, so I knew I was able to obtain it as long as I did what I was doing previously. And when I tell you I was working out every day, like, my biggest thing was gaining weight, and just that was one thing that was always hard before I even had those offers. So I was probably 150 my senior year of high school.
Wow.
I got to college weighing about like 186 or 187. So for 2 months, from December to March, that's all I knew was just working out, eating, and that was it. But it was God, my family. I had a real good support system from at home, and also my trainers, like good mentors, my high school coach. But it was really just to prove it to myself. It was a lot of people that I just felt like doubted me in that situation, and I just had to prove it to myself. But that's what I would say to that question.
Let me give y'all another real moment.
Okay.
Because I know people always feel like everything is just peaches and cream. They only see the recruiting part of it. Oh, just everything. I'Shawn, and this is just real life. I was broken. I didn't know how to fix this. I didn't know what to tell him. So at times I felt that he looked at me as being weak, because one time he told me, God believes in me. And to me, that was Now I'm in competition with God. Like, how dare you say that God believes in you as if I don't look, as if I don't believe in you. But that was a wake up and a learning moment for me, like as his mom. Like, where's your faith?
That's good.
You taught me all of this.
Now
like, where
now
you
what?
ain't with me in the gym no more, lady. You up in there crying.
He like, bring your. He's telling you, bring your A game, mama.
Yes, bring your A game. You don't have to do this all full circle. Ain't no down moments. So he told me that one time, and I'm like, okay, I had to pick myself up and like just get to praying and find the solutions. Not praying and not having faith, but praying and having faith to also carry him through. And I can't be letting him think I'm weak around here.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't think she was weak. I wanted her to believe in me just how I felt in the moment. I knew she believed in me, but I wanted her to understand. Just don't worry about it. It's going to happen.
And that's what he said too. At 18, 18, all offers gone. No place to go. God got me.
I love that.
Wow. And so, I'Shawn, mom, it's something about moms. We be in the thickets with you from birth all the way until you're 18, making a decision, and you had to bring us back in the thickets with you, right? Tell us when you got to Oregon State, right? And you're on this team. This is your first season. How is it? What's the temperature? How's the coaching receive you? How are your teammates receiving you? How are you feeling about yourself? Because now you went from zero because they took everything, and now you're at Oregon State. Take us.
So like I said, I graduated early. So when they did offer, I was able to get in. Usually some kids, I'm pretty sure Samaj, he got in spring ball, or did he come in fall camp?
He was the early enrollee. He came in January.
Okay, so for example, Samaj came in January. He got to do winter workouts and then spring ball, get into spring ball. So since I went to a quarter school, so that was one thing too, and I'll hint back at that when we get to transferring. So when I got there, I jumped straight into spring ball. I had 1 week of spring workouts, and it was spring ball. I didn't get in and learn too much at all. Like, I jumped straight into everything, just straight I don't even know what other word can describe it, but pressure as soon as I arrived on campus. But I arrived on campus, started spring ball. It was I had a good spring ball. I really enjoyed it. They loved the player I was. They noticed I was the player that they wanted to recruit, and I was that exact person that they recruited. So,
I mean, what was your position, I'Shawn? I forgot to put that there.
Receiver. So I played receiver. Yep. And so going after spring ball, I'm in a good position. Like, not going to start, but I'm gonna play a little bit, get some tick on the field. So before fall camp starts, we're doing OTAs, and I end up partially tearing my hamstring around practices. So I'm far from home. I'm losing my mind. My another thing is trainers. It's like you're not used to dealing with. It's a step stool to everything. So you telling them that you hurt, but they kind of iffy about it until you actually go see the actual doctor. So go see the doctor, notice that I'm hurt, and they confirm it as well. So I'm hurt before fall camps get started. I'm calling my mom. Obviously crying and everything, etc. Just trying to. Yeah. I ain't seriously been hurt since my sophomore year of high school, and then you already didn't perform, showed them what you can do right before the season. This happens. So that happens. We end up starting fall camp, kind of pressure to try to get me to get back going and get on the field. So I try to go back out there during fall camp and redo the same injury. So I partially tear my hamstring again, just do the same thing. So I'm pretty much out my whole freshman year from my hamstring. So of course I'm used to playing. I don't want to be hurt, none of that. But this is when the business part come in. You sit down in the facility and you're not producing, you're not doing nothing on the field, you're not helping them. So then that's kind of when the relationship change. We still,
Wait a minute. Let's stop there, I'Shawn. You are injured, right?
Yep.
You just made a clear statement. You, in your mind, is this how you're feeling, that you are no longer valuable to the team?
Yeah, that's how you feel, and almost that's how you're almost treated in a way as
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you're at a new school, you're injured, and you don't feel like you're contributing. What's going on in your mental state? And then mom, part B, is he communicating with you? Because sometimes our boys, they go into this little shelter, they don't want to talk. You call them, either they look at him shaking his head, you asking questions because you're trying to pull from them, but they have like, I got to deal with this on my own. So if you can answer the first part, what's your mental state like? And then for mom, part B, how are you pulling or getting, do you even have a clue on what's happening with him mentally?
Okay. So mental, I could definitely say I wasn't all the way there, but it was one thing too, like it was hard to kind of express that to your parents. Like, you don't want to, I know they halfway pretty much across the world, and I'm trying to explain to them some that I really don't know how to handle yet. So you're young. That's the first time you're really going through. Well, my first time really going through emotions or feeling somewhat depressed and not knowing how to conversate with my mom or my dad. It's just not something that we ever had to go through. So it wasn't an easy process to just know that was the issue.
Yeah. Wow. Sequitia?
Yeah.
So for me, some would call me a hoverer, but I'm not. I just know my children extremely well. So it doesn't take much pulling. I could just tell by the temperature of when the conversation, the text is changing. And then I'm on a plane out to Portland, so I could drive over. Because one thing I always pride myself on, I want their mental to be good. Everything else I believe can be fixed. I think young athletes now, and especially when I'Shawn had first got there, like, it was hard for him to communicate. Like, he know the door is always open and he can talk to us, but it was like, how do I articulate these feelings that I'm experiencing? Like, I don't think he knew how to, because I would always tell him, hey, go talk to your coach. Go talk to your coach. Tell them what you feel. Like, no, you're not going to always hear what you want to hear, but talk to them. They there, because I still have a great relationship with those coaches, and those coaches was there. But even as adults, if you already got something going on, now you done put that on to the next person, and you ain't even talking to them. So even coming from my child, I'm like, go talk to Coach Henson. No, they don't. No, go talk to Coach Henson. No.
It was also because it's like, what am I talking about? Because I can't produce what I feel right now. So it's like having a conversation, and it's just,
and that's to young adults, and especially young men. It's like, what do I have to offer? So the conversation is going to be null and void. But I'm like, you still need to talk. You still need to communicate and let out how you're feeling. Like, you need to express so they can tell you something, because right now you really feel like you're not valuable to the team because you're not playing. And those feelings are adequate. Like, you are allowed to feel that way, but you also need to talk to your coach so that they can know. Because from the business side, we're not going to point fingers and blame. They only know what they being told. You only know what somebody is telling you. So the coaches can only do so much. If you're not telling them how you're feeling or what you're going through, they don't know. So that was kind of a struggle, trying to get I'Shawn to open up more, like, go talk to your coach, because to him, he wasn't doing anything. So what am I going to talk to them about? I have nothing to offer them at all. What am I talking to him about, Mom? What is there to talk about? I'm hurt. So then he blaming himself. He angry. He mad.
But you almost, I will say this, Sequitia, you almost say, I went into this thing. Is this what I signed up for? Because you got to think about it. Your son went there to play football and to get an academic education. So here's the thing. He's either going to get the education because he's unable to play, or he's going to be able to do both. But now one of them he has to put on here, and you almost feel like the broken toy. We loved you until you couldn't produce.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Right. And so now you're here, you're injured. How then do we still stay connected to the coaching system to be able to be considered? And then how were they with helping you get back on the field? Is it just this thing of just only going to therapy or only going to your trainers, I'Shawn, to get the therapy you needed for the injury? Did you feel like they were trying to get you back on the field, or was it just a continuous, oh, we seen I'Shawn today, and just sit you to the side? What were they trying to do to get you back on the field?
So I would say they were trying to, but at the same time, not to their full capacity to like not rush me back, but it was at the beginning, it was rushing back. After it happened again, it was kind of, now I'm fighting back. Like, I know it don't feel good. Like, I'm not about to keep pushing myself, knowing it's not in the right, I'm not in the right standpoint. But after that year, it kind of, I really didn't heal until I came back home after the season, and I was able to train with my own trainers and get back to how I felt it was 100% for me. But it's just a lot. They obviously, the trainers in college don't really get paid as much as they should, or you would think. Like, my high school trainers probably make more than my college trainers at that time. So it's just, it's the bad part of the system, dealing with the trainers part. But that was just the worst end of what I would say. The trainers trying to deal with that, and just, they got a whole team to provide for, and that's playing and doing everything. So you kind of don't want to be in the way, but it's like, I'm trying to get back with my team.
But you know what it sounds like you're saying, I'Shawn, and this is to a lot of kids, and it's something that's maybe unpreventable, but don't get hurt when you go to college. Is that what you're saying, pretty much? Because if you get hurt, you can be swapped by the wayside, right?
You is, and then that's not even including what's getting recruited right after you.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's good. I'Shawn, what I keep hearing you say, though, even when you said you were in prep school, you kept saying, I kept working. I was in the gym, even with the injury. I keep hearing you saying, I keep working on my game. And I think that's what we also need to tell some of the players, is that you can't, you, thank God you had your parents, and thank God you had the mental capacity to say, let me stay laser focused in getting my body ready. So I think that may have helped. What I'm hearing is that helped you just to focus on, I'm going to get back, and the way that I get back is I got to take care of this body, even through the injury.
Yeah, because that's all you can focus on, like, is yourself in that standpoint. You can't really, I can't put the blame on nobody else but me.
Yeah.
It happened for me, so I can't be like, my coach told me to go out here and do this. Like, I wanted to, and I chose to be out there. So it was only on me.
Well, I will say, I'Shawn, so we are at Oregon State. We are at this injury.
Yeah.
Where did it come to? Did you touch the field, or did you transfer out? How do we get to the next school, and how do we mentally get into that portal the first time?
Okay, so transferring. So after my redshirt freshman year, same thing. This is around COVID, right before or during COVID time. So a lot of us got sent back home, and we were home for, do you remember, probably like 2 months or so?
Yeah.
About 2 months. So then they brought us all back right before fall camp, and I just didn't feel like with my receiver coach, I knew he wanted me there. He wanted me to play, but that year I kind of felt that it should be that year where I had my breakout season.
Right.
And what we sat down and talked about was more that I'd be a role player at that time. And I just didn't feel like, from my standpoint, I didn't feel like that's where I wanted to be that year. Like, it wasn't something that I imagined for myself, or the work that I put in, that was the year for that. So that's when we I came to the decision that I want to transfer. I did tell my mom.
Wait a minute, hold up. I'm seeing mama head like, no. I came to the decision, I'Shawn. I came to the decision.
Yeah, it was my decision.
Okay.
But I would say I am one of those kids that always run it by, well, not young adult, to run it by their parents. Like, everything or any decision I make that's could change my life, I always run it by my parents first. So she wasn't very accepting of it at the time, but
Ooh,
it's
clutching her
slowly
pearls up in here, I'Shawn.
it's, it slowly got to it though. But my receiver coach, I still talk to him to this day. He a great
Okay.
dude. He even usually you don't want to just enter the transfer portal without not speaking to any schools that you think you may be wanting to go to or anything like that. So he even told me he didn't want me to, but he would like that I figure it out before entering the portal, and he would keep me around, like he know I'm a good kid and wouldn't cause no trouble. So usually you don't get that. So I was blessed in that situation. Prior to I'm gonna stop here in case y'all want to ask.
Yeah, your mama is waiting because that's how mamas are.
He put the church finger up. Wait.
Go
So,
ahead. It's your time,
with
mama.
everything that he said, to build off of that, like for any young student athletes that may be listening or will listen, and I'Shawn can attest to this, I always preached, go talk to your coach, articulate for yourself, keep that communication open. I don't care if you're not getting told what you want to hear, go have that conversation.
That's good.
For most schools and a majority of schools that I know, those doors are always open, especially when your kid is doing right. They know they didn't build a relationship with them. I'm not going to say like coaches don't want to hear from them. They're not giving them a shot. We also need to educate our children to go be into your manhood, have the conversation.
That's right.
So you kind of see where if you're wanted or if you're needed or what their plans are for you. Because these coaches, they're coaching, they have families too. They talking to 1 million. They got 1 million sons, 100 and something sons. So I always told I'Shawn, like, go talk to Coach Confense, go talk to Coach Smith, like go have those conversations. So when he came to that point, which really stressed me out, by the way, I was so unfamiliar with this, but I did do my research. And at that point in time, when I'Shawn had said he wanted to go into the portal, it was 7,732 kids
Woo.
in that portal. And again, and I'm just being honest, we're realists. And this was the conversation I had with I'Shawn. Babe, you don't have any film. Yeah. What do you mean you getting ready to hand these people back their check? You don't have nothing? What do you mean you gonna quote unquote quit your job?
That's it. Don't have a backup. Come on.
Don't have a backup. You like, hold on.
I
Like,
want to say something.
Okay.
During that, I mean, that was the probably most depressed I had been at that like standpoint. So I think I did kind of start expressing to my mom then, and she was also able to talk to my high school coach. And I think he gave her like a good message, what made the transition between me and my mom easier during that point. But yeah, I say one thing and I'd like believe I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do on my end. So like I was not scared at all during this entering the portal. I was never like scared through the whole process. It's kind of weird because I told her where I was going and I end up going there like before I even entered this, but I'll let her go on now. But I just have to say that was
because Sequitia,
so
it sounds like you had some
from a parent standpoint, and I'm just being honest, it was so scary. It was truly scary because I also, to attest to what he was saying, you don't want your child, and you kind of sense it, like I'Shawn is always happy. I'Shawn is always smiling. I started to see that kind of like fade away, but he was still doing everything he needed to do. But then he told me, Ma, I just feel like I'm a better fit for somewhere else. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to get on the field. And I'm like, what's going on, I'Shawn? Do they not talk to you? Do they not like you no more? What's going on? What's making you want to do this? And he was like, I just feel like I'll have a better opportunity somewhere else. But no to the rest of those questions. So he said, I'm going to go have a talk with Coach Confensa and Coach Smith. I could not sleep. His daddy could not sleep. We was taking turns. Like
watch and pray.
Watch and pray. So when I tell you I have knee pads on for how much praying I was doing, but he still said, just like and this is a pattern with him, God's got me.
Yeah.
And he was so comfortable in that. So even with his coach and everybody else trying to educate me on this portal, all I knew was numbers. I do research. And all I knew was numbers. And then those numbers of me going to research those children that was already in that portal that had actual playing film. Because at the time, I'Shawn had practice film. But him even having those conversations with his coaches telling them, and this is the part of communication where communication has to be the first step when these kids go off to college. Them learning how to communicate for themselves. With Coach can say just like, hey, you too good of a player to go here and here. I want this for you because you're this caliber of a player. So just don't go jump in. And even Coach Smith, I'Shawn sent me that thing. He was like, well, I'm doing it. That's what he said. I'm doing it. He listens. Y'all can send him a prayer right now. He gonna research the scripture. He gonna listen and see how it can apply to his life. But he listens. But he was like, I'm okay. If you don't want me to leave, I just feel like I'm gonna be done with football because if I stay here, this not a good fit for me right now mentally. I can't see this. And he had just been sitting there, like coming from playing, starting all these years, and now you're standing, not because you're hurt and you're injured. And not because you're not wanted, because now for you feel inadequate because you haven't been able to provide what the job description is. So you're feeling not wanted. So that's all that was self-inflicted of how he's feeling, but he also knew he couldn't sit in that any longer. So he said, either I stay here and don't do football no more, or I go ahead and get in the portal and see what else is out there for me. The next thing I had was a letter. Hey, read over this. And that was his exit.
So you became his secretary to submit his letter in order to pretty much say, I'm resigning from Oregon State. I'm going somewhere else. So then you have to jump on the bandwagon because, Mom, you do have to think about it. It's like our kids are 18 years old. They have their decisions. They're the ones that's at that school. They see what's happening. They feeling it. I'Shawn is feeling a certain way. And so he has to now make his own decisions without you or dad. And that's what I think as moms, we follow them up to that point. His decision was what it was. He just wanted you to put your seal of approval on it.
And that seal of approval, I was actually on vacation, I remember, was, hey, Miss Lady, take a look at this because this is what I have to say. Just see if you like it or not, because it's getting ready to go out.
Well, let me ask this question, Erika and Ms. Stewart. So what happens if you're not on board? Like I'm sure there have been cases where your son and your daughter, again, they 18, they 19, they ain't 21, because most of the time until they're 21, some of the documents you have to sign as a parent. What do you do when you're not in agreement? I mean, you have prayed, you like, I'm just not feeling that. Well, how do you assert? How do you convince?
I'm a realist, and like I keep saying, and this is going to go beyond football. Yes, this has been an avenue and a bridge to a lot of things, but my son's mental comes first, no matter what I have attached myself to. So yes, I attached myself to Oregon State. Yes, I attached myself to being comfortable because I felt like he had finally got back what he had worked for. However, the bigger picture and all that matters and what makes us rich is the relationship that I have with my son. So even though it hurts, and even though I'm unsure because I was very unfamiliar with that territory, him telling me that I wasn't going to have my I'Shawn, my bear, if he stayed in that space, that was all the reassurance that I really need, and we're gonna figure it out. We getting ready to figure it out. No love lost, relationship still there, and it was out there.
I love that. I mean, what I heard you say, and again, we need to emphasize this as moms. The most important thing is our relationship with our kids. That's it. I love that. Thank you so much. Because again, there are going to be parents that are listening and saying, no. It ain't happening that way. And then there will be times when you have to have that tough conversation. And so thank you so much for that. I'm sorry, Erika, you're going to say something.
No, Jillian, to actually that with what Ms. Stewart said, you have to let your children make the decision and learn how to let go. I remember, I'm not trying to sound like super religious or anything like that, but I do love the Lord. I will say this.
Mhm.
When it came to my son and the decisions that he was making separate from me, God told me this. He said, let me be God. He said, I've been guiding before you. So if I've been guiding before you, your son is okay in my hands. You've been okay in my hands. The decisions that they're going to make is going to be okay. And their journey is their journey.
Yeah.
So, I'Shawn, take us there. Take us when
Yeah.
mom finished editing the letter or helping you out with that letter to submit to everybody and to post. And then what was your next school? What journey was that? Where did you let next land?
So I end up I came home after that, start to train, and actually wanted to go where my previous quarterbacks from high school. He played at the University of Cincinnati and ended up transferring to Eastern Michigan. So Eastern Michigan had already previously offered me when I was in high school. So that was kind of my school. I wanted to find somewhere that had a quarterback that I knew that could throw the ball and could give me the ball how I needed to get the ball. So end up picking Eastern Michigan. Again, I'll go back and say how we talked about quarters and trimesters, that was the biggest thing that screwed me transferring, because I was on quarters
Wow.
at Michigan, at Oregon State, and I ended up losing about 40 or so credits going to Eastern Michigan. But we weren't knowing, and that was the first thing we told them that I didn't want to do. So they kind of got me in there and took my credits, but actually,
So you start learning. Okay, I got in that portal, but then my credits didn't transfer with me.
So I got in there, and then I was keeping in contact with them, like still talking around in the transfer portal. And I was actually in vacation in Florida, and they messaged me. It was like, if you gonna come, we need you to come out here next week, or it was next week or this Friday.
Wow.
So I end up getting back, and I just like, I'm just going here. It's like, we gonna go here. My quarterback already here, so get there. And this injury bug just followed me.
Oh, no, you know what? Throw away the injury, Aisha.
Man, I wish I could. So get there, doing extra work with the quarterbacks, and some told me, I'm like, this is my last rep. So did one rep, said I was done. He begged me to do one more rep. I end up breaking my fingers, like it. It looked crazy if y'all could see it, but cracked pretty much in half. Ended up having to get surgery. Was out for a good amount of time. They tried to give me. I came back. Around the second game.
Second game.
Okay.
They're trying to work me back in, but I'm trying to catch again with hands that is reconstructed at this point, and so it was an ongoing process for that year, just trying to get back, and played a little bit throughout the season, but it still wasn't. The system wasn't a good fit for me. It wasn't for me.
Well, did you earn anything there, Mom? Go ahead.
So just to walk people through, I'Shawn went in that portal. He was picked up within 2 weeks from a lot of different schools trying to reach out to him. So God to be the glory. Like, thank you, God. But also educating yourself before you go jump into something else, almost like a relationship that people can relate to. Compare it to what you kind of walked away from to make sure. And I know it's only so much you can do because you got to get there and really see how things is. But I'Shawn was getting ready to start talking about the system and then the need of what coaches will tell you what they need. So you thinking you really getting ready to be what they need. And you're not. Like, they really had their set of receivers. So along with I'Shawn and some other receivers that had transferred in to Eastern Michigan, now you get there, you really thinking, now this is your opportunity. It's a smaller school, and you'll have your shot. You'll have that opportunity. And some things just didn't go that way. Yeah, he broke his finger, had a great receiver coach that was there. Then that receiver coach left, and then he had another receiver coach. And I just felt like he got there, and it was kind of like the shuffle and bustle. Yeah, he got on the field, he played, but I don't think he got the quality of time that he was looking for and that he should have received. So it's like really doing your homework.
Yeah.
In those questions, to holding the coaches to specific questions. If you're going to get in a portal before you go and stay somewhere, ask them, do they really need you? Who else is on that depth chart?
Yeah, I would say that as well. And then just looking into, if you play offense, looking at the offensive coordinator, what plays he's running, what fits your system, because he did recruit a lot of kids that play receiver with me that came in that were at higher schools that were more in the air raid type offense. So we were thinking we were coming into the same thing, and that's what they were changing into, but it just wasn't that. But I would say just looking into what you're getting into. You got to look into the offensive coordinator, the quarterback situation, your receiver coach, and the coaches around. It's just not about getting in the portal. It's going to wherever I think that's what a lot of kids that transfer now, they kind of that had prior already played, they know what they're looking for now. Like, it's not like they just enter.
Yeah.
They finna just pick this school. It's a game plan collectively with the team that they got around them or family members.
Now, was it any NIL deals back then, I'Shawn, or was it just up and peaking? Like, were they trying to, how do you feel about not getting paid then versus what you see now?
Oh yeah, I want my money. I want my reimbursement. But yeah, no, they I felt like they at Eastern, that's when it had just started to come along right at the end of when I was entering
2021.
Yeah, 2021, 2022. So some of us did have a little bit more money on our paychecks than others. It wasn't discussed, but we knew if I heard somebody say what they was getting a month, I would be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm making a little bit more than what he's making, but I'm not about to discuss with our teammates or make anybody feel like anything uneven. So yeah, it was starting, but it wasn't nothing how it is now. Now
it's different.
Wow.
Different.
So that little achy finger got you going right there. So
you're
out on the field at times, but then now this finger, it went from whatever happened at Oregon State. Now we got the finger, but you're still able to get on the field. Take us to the moment of where you're at with talking with mom and dad and coaches about your fit there.
Yeah. Okay. So after the finger, it wasn't after surgery, I was out for a little bit. They just didn't want me, obviously, because of surgery, can't get it moist or anything like that. So it was a weird injury because you can run. Like, that's my main job is to run, but then you got the hands catch. So it's kind of weird. I wasn't used to it. So that year went by, just not had a decent receiver coach, and then I ended up getting a real good receiver coach that kind of played like me, played at Virginia Tech, real speedy receiver. So he came into that system saying, I don't really want to speak about like the organization part of it, but
that's fine.
But he came in seeing a couple things that some of the players had already seen, and it was a weird dynamic because I'm close to my receiver coach, but then you got a head coach that's kind of the offensive coordinator that's calling everything, and already got like people and the receivers that don't fit his system that may fit this receiver coach system. So it was with that business side at that school, I kind of just felt like we wasn't going to get a resolution. So it was time for me to kind of get out there if I want to keep pursuing the NFL or football regardless, to kind of find a better school for me. And that I stuck it out that rest of the year just so I could get my degree. Degree
so at Eastern, you were able to get your college degree there.
A little bit longer, but I ended up getting it because I should have got it that first year I arrived at.
That's awesome.
Okay.
So you make a decision towards the end of the year. Thank God you got your college degree. What happened? Nice.
So I end up at going into the transfer portal. I think it was less stressful this time because
So was this the second time?
Yes, this is the second and last time.
Okay.
No more after this.
So wait,
Okay.
you say it's less stressful for you. What about you, Mom? I'm looking at your face.
Well, I think it was. That's who I think it was less stressful for.
Okay.
More her end, yeah.
So this time around, because I'm not about to fall out with my kid, and I pretty much, again, I'Shawn always has a good relationship, like wherever he goes. And I know he's done the talking, so it's not like he's just getting up, oh, this is not for me, I'm getting ready to go. Like, I'm not getting my way, I'm getting ready to go. So now I'm able to see, of course, I'm at all the games, I'm seeing how things are going. And his main focus was, because he already had a plan before he came talking to me, I'm getting ready, because he was still, like he sound right now, he was upset about them credits not transferring and that he should have had his degree in 3 years. So he was like, I'm getting ready to get my degree, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and go into the portal to find a better solution, a better situation for me. So I'm like, as long as you get that degree, because now I'm like, as long as you get that degree, because football is using you, you need to use football
That's right.
as well. So he made sure he handled business. He made sure he went and talked to his coaches, and he made sure he graduated from Eastern with his bachelor's in communication, his first.
Wow. Congratulations, I'Shawn. I think I got a picture of you. Yeah, that is awesome. So take us there. Go ahead. We're in the portal again, but we got a degree. First off, we got a degree.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
That check off.
Check.
I was a little bit.
No debt.
More comfortable.
Check.
So I wanted to stay closer to home or find U of I, Northwestern, or Illinois State, or NIU. So it was either of those four. And first day I entered the portal, Illinois State hit me up. So it was like, all right, that must be the sign for me. And that's kind of where I want to be at. So I end up choosing Illinois State. Again, I'm a fast kid. So hamstrings has been a following issue. So set out fall camp, do the hamstring, and then first game I was already ready to go. So I played throughout the season, and then I think right before, was it senior night? The senior night game. So the game prior to that night, I end up pulling my quad on the caught a ball, ran, made a move, and my quad just popped. So now I'm going through that type of depressed feeling, but still trying to figure it out. Just like I know this probably the end all be all with this, because I'm not about to keep. It just was a nagging thing. Like I always had the physical ability to play body or be on any field, but my body just can't. It wasn't upholding to where I wanted it to uphold. So got to Illinois State. Had a good couple games. Got my master's degree from Illinois State.
Whoa.
Was able to just have fun for my senior year. Go out with a bang. Got everybody to be able to still come close. Brother was still playing. And that was a senior year of high school. So was able to get him to come down, get everybody to come down. Was still able to make some of his games. But I can't go wrong. I mean, I had 2 transfer portal. I entered in twice, and I would just say my record. What word would I say? I don't even know how to describe this. I would just say my recommendation would just be enjoy the process, have fun with the process, and just be able to just be yourself. Like throughout the whole time, I think I was myself, but I kind of let people kind of change my emotions, just like not playing the first time and them not accepting, like, well, he just not playing, it's a business, But if I was just myself that whole time, I probably never even would have left Oregon State and would have upheld itself for me. But I have no regrets about the process that I had. I think high school, I did overly train. I trained too hard where my body was pushed by the time I got to college where I had all these injuries. But parents, I know it's stressful through these moments. They go through moments trying to deal with a child that they've never experienced before. But not it being the first child, I mean, I was the example, and I don't mind it at all. It is, but
is mom crying?
Mom is crying. You're gonna have us crying over here.
I know. I'm looking at her wipe tears away, but that's why, this is the moment that why we are in the huddle.
Yeah.
We are in the huddle because moments like this.
Yeah.
This young man just gave three schools he went to, 2 times in the portal. Mom went through that moment every step of the way.
Yes.
We are in the huddle with our babies. We are in the huddle with our coaches. We are in the huddle first with them. So what's touching is you didn't leave those schools without a degree. You went right in and did exactly what your parents required, and the asked probably for you to do is get your degree. You not got 1 but 2. Sequita, what are those tears for? What, Miss Stewart, tell us. What are those tears for that you're crying?
Just listening to him stating, because your listeners, he's never talked about his experience besides with me. So allowing him his maturity and his growth of letting this be said, because I always tell him, everybody in life, like, you have something that can be beneficial to somebody. If it's just one person, let your story be told so that you can help somebody else. And I think a lot of the times young people and young adults, I think now he realized I wasn't inadequate. It wasn't because I wasn't a good football player. Like I told him, things happen and you can't control the injuries or your route. God had a different journey for you. And just because your journey was different, didn't make you less than. You're still a great person. Like, we've learned so much as adults in this field of navigating because of him. So many other families have learned so much because of I'Shawn, learned processes that we've been able to share with everybody else to help somebody else. And you don't look at those things like, why me? Now this person get the benefit. You look at it, you're sending that elevator back down so they can go up, and your blessings will come 10 times over. And for me, that's what it has been like for I'Shawn. He's a great human. He's a great person. He just doesn't quit. But I also always understand the business side of it. And now that he's older, he's able to understand the business side of it. It's not that someone doesn't like you or they don't think that you're valuable.
Right.
It's just, we're all employed by somebody else. These coaches are employed by somebody else. This is a system that's being ran. And just like his shoes, his Jordans, if those Jordans don't shine like they used to, guess what you're doing? You're going to buy a new pair.
Right. Yeah, true.
The nails need a fill in. You're not going to leave them on there. You're going to get a fill in. You're going to get a new pair. And us being able to know it's okay to be replaceable, that doesn't mean that you're less than. But while you have that position, you do everything in your power to do what you're supposed to do to hold that position. But when the eyes are, your body was hurt. There's nothing else. But then something else I want parents to be able to understand. And then also, because we all have opinions, when we see kids getting in the portal, sometimes it's more than kids. They thinking kids are just being selfish. Oh, it's not for me, so I want to go have my way. Oh, it's not for me, so I just want to go have my way. Not every student athlete who enters the transfer portal is being selfish or chasing attention. Sometimes, like in many cases, their decisions are made off of what's best for them, what's best for their situation. Not to hurt their brotherhood that they've built, not to hurt the coaches, not for a get back. And I know NIL plays a huge part of it now.
Yeah.
But sometimes as adults, because we're all judging, we're all fans, we have to take a look at what's best for that child. That's just like a coach. If something's not working for that coach, they're going to leave because they need to do what's best for them and their family.
Yeah, that's true.
And the student athletes need to do what's best for them. And I just think as a culture, do you really want somebody in your system that's not happy, that's unhealthy, So help them navigate what's best for them, because the big picture is we're doing what's best for the kids. So help my son, and I was blessed enough. We were blessed enough. I'Shawn was blessed enough. Every coach helped him. Coach Confense from Oregon State, who is now with the Tampa Buccaneers. Coach Smith, who is now at Michigan State, which was the head coach at Oregon State. They just didn't get mad at my son because my son felt like it wasn't a good place for him to be anymore. They helped guide him.
Yes.
So that's showing somebody love. That's showing somebody grace. Like, we understand you don't want to be here, but that may not be personal. It's not against you. It's not against Erika if I don't want to sit in your car.
Right.
But let me find you another means of transportation.
Right.
Because I do love you, Sequitia. So I feel grateful for that. I feel grateful for each school. I'Shawn literally still has a relationship at all three of those schools. For those coaches that he went to. I still talk to all those coaches every holiday, all the time, all his receiver coaches. So I just think it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing, and no, it didn't work out how he intended for it to work out. The 18-year-old intended for it to work out, but God has showed the 25-year-old that I can always make things greater. It can be later, but I'll also make things greater. And he has exemplified that in the human being that he is.
That's awesome.
Wow, Sequitia, that's beautiful. Well, I'Shawn, we can't. Your mom, I mean, she's a force to be reckoned with. I personally know that. But I'Shawn, what does your life look like now?
Now, that's what I was just about to talk about, maybe for another podcast that y'all have too. But just life after football, that is something I think that is very different for each person, and I still know a lot of people that sometimes struggle with trying to adjust to real life, because you are treated a different way when you are an athlete. And I think I still have those concerns too. Sometimes I don't even like going to regular gyms because it just don't feel the same as just being with a team and kind of just you so used to being challenged by a team and those aspects. So that's been one thing. But I'm in clinical research now. I've been living pretty good. I can't complain, but I just you still have you still miss what you've done for majority of your life. So I've played football since I was 5 years old. So that's kind of all I knew. And I still have myself having conversations with my mom and my dad, kind of just like, I love what I'm doing. I make good money, but it's still not like I don't know if it's my passion like football was. It's kind of trying to find a passion that you like feel that does the same thing, or feel that void or need that you're looking for. So I'm doing good. I'm like I said, I'm done with school. No more school. I'm in my in clinical research. I am looking to start doing real estate and other things. Just been I think working for myself is kind of what I feel would be best, trying to navigate and just find out the person I really am outside of football and finding my own identity.
And one thing that I really enjoy that you said, you still have that love there. So the love never really leaves, but you are still giving back in a valuable way, because you don't know how many people that you have blessed that are a part of what it is that, this football world. And I see a remark here. It says from Robert Glenn Blackwell, have you thought about coaching? Have you thought about coaching?
I did. I think it's just people don't know how hard it is to get in as far as college coaching. So it's kind of like being a freshman in college again. Like it's like you're restarting again. So I wanted to do that, but then it's like it take about you might be good 10 years before you're making the money that you want to see doing what you like. I would rather do what I'm doing or be in the field that I like and go help at a high school instead of traveling, being in a college town. That's kind of not the living that I want to live. Yeah.
And so I do know this part only because I saw her. You have an amazing young lady in your life, right?
Oh, wait a minute.
And something happened. Give us a, because there's life outside, but bring us into the huddle with what's about to happen in the future.
Yeah, I did get in. I got engaged last.
That's awesome.
December, so,
And Mama's clapping, so we love that.
Come on. You got to watch who you bring in the huddle. Ain't that right, Mama?
Come on now.
Hey, you got to be able to go 4 quarters.
Come on.
yeah, but my mom, she has been around for a while. My mom did put a couple training wheels on her before she got locked all the way in. She was real hard on her, but she was a good woman. I couldn't be thankful enough. She really, I looked at her to remind me. I always wanted to find somebody that reminded me of my mom and kind of had the same. Just provided everything that my mom do. I love it. So
don't be making me seem like a bully. I didn't send her through it. I just wanted her to be a great person outside of I'Shawn. So
Listen, it's nothing wrong with sending them through. Listen, we recruiting too. We're looking at your stat sheet. No, I'm just joking.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I see Angie Vasquez says this seems to be the common response about the life after football. Lots of former Michigan players have shared this with the stigma team at Michigan, trying to find out who they are.
Wow.
Which
I kind of think that's all football players.
Yes.
All basketball players.
Yeah, people kind of, and when I talk to other people, I try to tell them, because a lot of people have reached out asking me if I'Shawn would be on a podcast with them, come speak at schools, come speak with other children. And I'm like, I just don't think he's there yet, because they truly, to me, have PTSD. It's something that they've lived their entire life. Wow. And then I remember a conversation. Do you mind if I share?
Go ahead.
That we had, and he was like, it's kind of hard for me to bring my mind to close out football. So he kind of just stay away from it. Like, how normally kids, when they done graduated, he didn't got his master's. He never left his bye to football post. He never, because he didn't really want to address it. So those tears came from listening to him today, talk to the world.
Wow.
Like the conversations that we normally have, him expressing himself, like how he missed it, how it's kind of really awkward to close that chapter. So I think basketball players, all children who play sports, this has been their entire life.
Yes.
And being for it to end and you become a citizen, because his dad always tell him, oh, you're eating this, you're eating that. Oh, you're a normal citizen.
You like us now.
Yeah, right. You with us today. You a civilian.
Right.
You coming to the holidays. Oh, okay.
Wow.
So we all joke about it, but I think to them, like, they've had a brotherhood. Like, I remember I'Shawn would come home. He like, what we doing? We going bowling? We doing this? I'm like, boy, we got real life.
We got that going on.
You want to do all these team building, and this ain't no football team in here. But,
well, I think that what you're saying is, Jillian brought this up earlier. She said, we are not just moms in a huddle. We are connections. We see a connection here. Say D. Hirsch said he will help you with real estate. He is from Chi-Town also. I will make the connection. And he also said he also has a sports management business. And D. Hirsch has come on him himself. Yes, I will be honored to assist. Look at that. You share your story, you get connections. And you go to the next level. We're going to make sure we connect you with those people. Okay, I'Shawn, if you're interested in that.
Awesome. I love that. I just want to say just a few things that I heard. I just want to take a mental note of this. So you said talk to your coaches and your parents. I kept hearing that theme. Also heard the theme of have a strategy.
Yeah.
I heard over and over again, I'Shawn, you talked about working on your body, work on your game. You stayed focused. I heard you, Mama. You said educate yourself about the system. You, I'Shawn, know the coaches. What are the opportunities for you to play? I keep hearing this over and over again. We're all believers. Trust God. At the end of the day, that's what we have to do. And then the last thing I heard was, remember there is life after sports. Whether it's basketball, football. Even though we played, most of my 3 boys have been playing since they were 4 and 5 like you. There is life afterwards, and we need to get through that and make a plan. So this has been phenomenal. I'm sorry, Erika, you have to.
No, I'm just going to say we in the huddle. I'Shawn, Sequita, we thank you so much for your time here today. But I'Shawn, before you leave, I need you to say we in the huddle.
Oh, we in the huddle. We
All
are.
right.
We are in the huddle. Do you guys mind if I just give a message to parents?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Sequita.
I want you all to know not every student athlete who enters, and this is for parents and fans, enter the transfer portal is being selfish or chasing attention. In many cases, these decisions are being made from a place of maturity and personal growth. Some students transfer to find a better academic fit, a healthier team culture, or even just opportunities to develop their skills, something that's good for them. Others may be dealing with coaching changes, mental health challenges, or homesickness, a lot of different variables that can go with them entering the portal. So the opinions kind of just be all over the place. And then for parents, what parents and coaches need to understand is that transferring doesn't always mean that a child is giving up. Whether that be soccer, volleyball, basketball, or football, it can mean they're finally advocating for themselves. With that plan being in place. They're 18 and 19-year-olds, mostly at the time when this is happening. And it's life-altering. It's a life-altering decision for parents as well as for the children, especially with the weight of expectations from family and finances.
Yeah,
that's true.
Also. And then like with the parents, this can be especially tough. I know you invest emotionally, financially, spiritually in your child's journey. So it's hard to see them walk away from what was once a dream or opportunity. But that's when the support that we give matters most. Sometimes the greatest show of love is always allowing your child to be able to communicate for themselves and then make the best decision that they feel is the right decision for themselves. At the end of the day, the transfer portal isn't about chasing playing time. It's often about finding their purpose or whatever they feel that their purpose is for the time. And then balancing and growing in a high pressure world, because they are definitely living in a high pressure world. And us needing to be as adults and fans with our opinions, respecting their why.
Yeah. Say that again.
Respecting their why, because you said something so key. This is their life. This is their journey. And sometimes as fans, they may hate to lose them, but this is their journey and their life. And I'Shawn, we respect you for that. We see Angie Vasquez says, thank you, Ms. Stewart. Mrs. Stewart, they need to hear this.
You're welcome. Be strong. Anybody that's out there, they are going to be okay. I know it's rocky. Get your knee pads out. Just continue to pray.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we want to thank you guys. Oh, go ahead, I'Shawn.
I'm sorry. Just to make sure during that time, kids are in school to do internships, do other things to also like help. Just for after football, like that's one thing I would like harp on. Like some situations, they want kids that have this amount of experience and etc. But it's hard because of sports. And I think during that time while they are at school for summer or just internship to just get it on their resume, that would help. That was just one thing I want to add before we
and encourage your boys or girls to always go talk to the coaches to ask about those internships. The coaches more than always are willing to help guide them, but our kids have to use their voice. So it's not always on the coach, it's not always on the institution. We have to constantly pour into our children to make sure that they communicate on their behalf because the coaches don't know.
Yeah,
that's true. Thank you. Well, we want to thank you and I'Shawn for coming and joining Moms in the Huddle. We want to thank you for your story. We see that it was very impactful to the community of everyone else in the huddle. Well, we want to thank you. And we will have you come back, I'Shawn. We want to know your journey in the future because I know you have more in you for this community.
Yeah, we want to meet that wife. No, I'm just joking.
Jillian said, get her on here.
Get her on here.
Because we have a whole nother topic that we're going to talk to about dating.
Yeah.
So staying focused and all of that because the girls are coming.
Yeah.
That's why he said I was hard. I gave her a hard time.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to have a show on that. Make sure you watch that. But thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it.
Jillian, it was so nice to meet you. Erika, thank you guys so much for having us on. Everybody who's listening, thank you. Stay blessed and let go and let God.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Have a great one, I'Shawn.
Thank you, I'Shawn.
Thank you.
I'Shawn. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow, Jillian. I see a comment from the satisfied wife that said, "This is a great podcast, ladies. All my sons were in sports. We wish you all were around then." Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much from the satisfied wife. Let me tell you, Jillian, we originally were going to go 30 minutes.
30
Did we
minutes.
say that was our show?
We were going to have 2 guests. There's no way possible that we could have had 2 guests talking about that. So we're learning as we're growing. Listen, this was phenomenal. Great family. Love God. Went through the ebbs and flows of the transfer portal, the different schools, the different coaches. It was great.
And but Jillian, that's why this show, even though we went over, we're so candid, and it's supposed to be transparent and authentic.
Yes.
Right? It's not just supposed to be like, oh, well, let's just tell the good stories, cookie cutters. We're getting so many things that people are just like, good, so good, because people want to hear the real. Yes. People want to know what people are going through. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things that I'm glad that we did get over, but we still have a little more showtime for just a couple things, because we got to take you to the marketing corner, and I'll take you to the legal corner. Go right ahead, Jillian, take it away.
Well, the marketing corner will be know your brand. One of the things that people forget, I mean, she talked about, making sure that you connect and find out about internships. What do you want to be in school? Then how are you building your brand when school is over? So you gotta understand your brand. So start now. One of the things that I talked to my son who plays for University of Wisconsin basketball, I said, after high school, I said, guess what? You got a great opportunity going into Wisconsin to start over.
Yes.
What is the brand? So some things that you may not have liked about yourself in Michigan, you have a whole new opportunity to build your brand. And he did just that. And so know your brand. Think about what it is that you want people to say when you're not in the room. And one of the ways you can do it is you say that about yourself. So if you want people to understand that I'm a hard worker, in a conversation with people, you say, well, I'm a hard worker. I'm a hard worker. And guess what's going to happen? When you're not in the room, they're going to say, that Jonathan, he's a hard worker.
Yes.
So you don't let people create your brand. You create your brand by the words that come out your mouth and the things that you do. And so that marketing moment for moms, for students, for parents, help your student start determining what their brand is by what they're saying out of their mouth, by the things that they're posting on social media. So for example, if you want to be known as a believer in Christ Jesus, post about you a believer and why you believe. If you want to be known that you are focused on education, you think about, hey, my next move is this, or you might be giving tips. You have to make sure that you are communicating what your brand is, not only allowing people to say that, but you dictate what your brand is. So that's my marketing moment for today.
Marketing moment. Ding. So I will say the legal moment is this. I know that many of our kids out here have cars. They are driving on the highways, whether in Michigan or Wisconsin, and some of them are getting tickets. I want to encourage you, as an attorney that represented many people when I had my law firm, some of the things that I would represent people for was for tickets, traffic tickets. A lot of people don't know that if you make a hearing, meaning it could be an informal hearing, to go before a magistrate, in which you're able to, you may have a speeding ticket that has points on it. But if you make an informal hearing, you go there, they may reduce that down to something with 0 points, or sometimes they'll reduce it down to where you may not have a ticket. A lot of kids that I actually had to help my son with, I said, make an informal hearing, you go to court, and let's see if you're able to speak with that magistrate or speak with the clerk, and they may reduce it down so that you're not going to get points. In the state of Michigan, if you get 6 points in the state of Michigan on your driving record, then they can revoke your driver's license. You don't want that to happen. So if you're getting a ticket or you speed 15 miles over, that's 1 point. So if it's 1 point, and some tickets is 2 points, depending on how fast you were going. Make that appointment for that informal hearing within that 14 days when you're given that ticket by that police officer. Go in there so that they can reduce it down to something with 0 points. And then if you go in, you may find that you may have favor when you go in there.
I love
that was my legal moment. And I will say,
why I like that legal moment, because
One of the things that we're finding our kids do, they get their NIL money, and what do they want to do? They want to buy the fastest car, fastest car. And so now you have what? Attention on your vehicle. So whether you drive 5, 15, whatever miles over, and please don't do that. You want to make sure that you are protected. So thank you so much. I'm going to remind my son about that, who loves to put, pressure on the car.
Jillian, that's what we're supposed to do. Be that sounding board in their ears. But I will say, Jillian, we had a great Moms in the Huddle today, didn't we? Moms in the Huddle, where they at?
In the huddle.
Moms in the Huddle, where they at?
In the huddle.
Moms in the Huddle, where they at?
In the huddle.
That's the anthem. Get them hands up. Hey, join us for next marketing moment, for next legal moment, for next huddle moment, when the next huddle will be more than likely Stuck on Stars. Have your child been rated? You're going to hear from our experts, EJ Holland. You're going to hear from Alan True. You don't want to miss those shows. Some of our shows will be pre-recorded and we'll upload, but some of our shows going to be live and you can come in like you did today and comment. Do not miss Moms in a Huddle. It's now time to subscribe to our YouTube page. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button. So when we come on, you will know that we're on. And then follow us on all of the platforms, because we're here for you.
Yes. And please visit our website, momsinahuddle.com. Why do you need to join a website? You ain't like, websites are so antiquated. Listen, it's great that you follow us on social media, but we want to make sure we have your contact information, so we will forward you information about what's happening. Because one of the things that Erika and I are going to be doing, we're going to hit the road. So great football season is about to start. Basketball is coming. We're going to be not just in the huddle. We're going to be in the stadium. We're going to be in the gym. So we want you to know where we're going. All right.
All right. Thank you. Have a blessed day. Stay safe. And always remember, in the huddle, no parent stands alone. See you later.
Bye-bye.